Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. Before we start our lesson, please all make sure you have your equipment ready and you have your math book in front of you. If you're watching this video from school, could you please make sure, first of all, the same as always, half your page in the middle, and then in the first half, answer this 6 starter question. So pause the video for 7 minutes, have a go with all 6 questions, then start the video again. Okay, now you can see all the answers for 6 questions. Change to green pen and self-mark it. I'm quickly gonna go through the answers as well. So you for first question, you go around the shape, add up everything. So you add these 3 numbers and you get 14. And always perimeter is the same unit. So if these lengths are in centimeter, the unit for perimeter would be centimeter as well. So your last answer is 14 centimeter. Question number 2 is asking you to round each decimal to nearest integer. Integer is the whole number. So you're rounding 3.4 to nearest whole number. You look the digit straight after decimal point to decide you need to round up or keep it as it is. Because this digit straight after decimal point is 4, I need to keep 3 as it is. So 3.4 to nearest integer is 3. Then you do the same thing with 7.5. You look at the digit straight after the decimal point. Because it's 5, I need to round 7 up. If you round 7 up, it changed to 8. Then I have 3 add 8, which is 11, because the question was asking to estimate. Question number 3, you round into nearest 10. So you go to 10's column. You look the number after. Because it's less than 5, you keep these as it is. So 3 to 9, and then 4 change to 0. Part B, it says round this one to 2 decimal places. So digit after decimal point, they are decimal places. So I have 1 decimal place, 2 decimal places. So I look the number straight after. Because it's more than 5, so I need to round this 7 up. So I have 0.18 and nothing else. So when it says 2 decimal place, at the end your answer should have only 2 decimal places, nothing else. So you can't put 0, 0 in front of it. It should be just 0.18. You know how to times by 10, and if you times in decimal number by 1000, timesing by 1000, move the decimal point 3 to the right. So I have 1, 2, and I need 1 more, which that's why you're getting 1 more 0 in here. Question number E, you have 4 squared, which is 16, then you have 1 squared, which is 1, then 16 take away 1 is 15, because powers comes before subtraction. And in here, square root of 64, what number if I times by itself, I get 64 is 8. And what is the square root of 16? What number if I times by itself, I get 16 is 4. So 8 take away 4 equal to 4. And you know how to do multiplication. Write them in column. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So your last answer is 636. Very well done if you manage to do all 6 of them right. In this unit, we're moving to new topic, which is expanding bracket. But before we are starting expanding bracket, first of all, we need to make sure we can times or divide negative numbers. We've done addition, subtraction with negative number. Now we need to practice multiplying and dividing negative number. So first of all, in this question, I'm timesing a negative number by positive. If you look at the success criteria, it says if you multiply a negative number by a positive number, the answer is negative. If you multiply 2 negative numbers, the answer is positive. So you need to make a note of the success criteria. So again, if you have 1 positive number one negative number timesing them together, your answer going to be negative. And if you have two negative number timesing together, your answer going to be positive. That's the rule. You need to just remember it. As I said, make a note of success criteria. Now in here, I start with the number. I know what is 4 times 6, which is 24. And then, as I said, you have a positive number because 6 doesn't have any sign in front of it. That means it was a positive number. And you have one negative number. Based on success criteria, positive times by negative, your answer is negative. Now pause the video and have a go with this video, please. Okay, now let's quickly go to the answer for the first video. As I said, 7 times 3 is 21. And then you have a positive timesing by negative, so your answer is negative. So your answer is negative 21. In here, as you can see, is exactly the same as first I do. Just in this one, I have positive 4 and negative 6. In this one, at the first one, it was negative 4, positive 6. Doesn't make any difference. As long as one of them positive, one of them negative, your answer is negative when you timesing. So again, 4 times 6 is 24. And then positive times by negative is negative. So when you can see two signs, one positive, one negative, two different signs, your answer is negative. Now 10 seconds, quickly have a go with video, please. Again, 7 times 3 is 21. And then positive times by negative is negative. So your last answer is negative 21. Okay, here we can see more examples now. Again, I have a multiplication between, so I do 4 times 5, which is 20. So I'm going to write 20 down. Then I have a negative timesing by another negative. So based on success criteria, it says when you times two negative, your answer would be positive. So negative times negative, my answer is positive. So your last answer is positive 20. 10 seconds, have a go with video, please. Now again, I have a multiplication between, I do 7 times 5, which is 35. And then negative times by negative is positive. So your answer should be positive 35. Now let's look at these I do. If you see more than one multiplication, don't worry. Just start with the first two, find the answer, then times by a third one, then find the answer times by a last one. Okay, so I start with these two first. So I have 4 times 5, which is 20. Positive times by negative is negative. So I get negative 20 for first two. Then I need to times that negative 20 by a next number, which was negative 2. So I have 20 times by 2, which is 40. And then negative times by negative is positive. I haven't finished because I need to times that positive 40 by a last number there, which was negative 10. So if I do that, 40 times 10 is 400. And then negative times by positive is negative. So your last answer would be negative 400. As I said, it's the same thing, same rule. Just start with the first two, find the answer, times by a third one, find the answer, times by a last one. Okay, now 1 minute, have a go with video, please. So if I start with the first two, I know 7 times 5 is 35, and then 7 positive times and negative times another negative gives me positive answer. I need to times that positive 35 by negative 2. So from this bit I get 2 times 35, which is 70, and then I have one positive timesing by one negative, so my answer would be negative. And for the last part, I have 70 times by 1, which is 70, and then I have negative times by another negative, which makes the positive answer. So your last answer should be positive 70. Very well done if you managed to do this one right. Now to just do more practice, pause the video for only 5 minutes. You don't need more than 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, quickly go through the answer. Just make sure you look properly at the sign and decide if your last answer is negative or positive. Don't forget the rule is on success criteria as well. Have a go with all of them. 5 minutes, then check for answers. Here you can see all the answers. Double check and just make sure the sign is right. Again, more question for you to do. Another 5 minutes. Have a go with all of them. And then start the video again to check your answers. And just make sure when you have 3 multiplication or 4 multiplication, just start with the first two, find the answer, times it by a third one, find the answer, times it by the last one. Just do it step by step. Here are all the answers. Check your answers, mark it in a green pen, and hopefully you all managed to do all the answers right. Okay, now we're moving to division. The rules for dividing negative number is exactly the same as multiplication. So in multiplication, you would have times the number, and if it was one negative, one positive, your answer was negative. And if you were timesing two negative, your answer was negative. But this time you're dividing, so you do the division, but the rule for the sign is the same. So if you look at the success criteria, if you divide a negative number by a positive number, your answer is negative. If you divide two negative number, your answer is positive. So the rule for sign is exactly the same. So for first, I have 24 divided by 3, which I know 24 divided by 3 is 8. Then I have a positive 24, I'm dividing by negative 3. So positive divided by negative, my answer is negative. So your last answer would be negative 8. 10 seconds, have a go with first video, please. Okay, again, 36 divided by 3, you do that division, you find your answer as 12. Then positive divided by negative, your answer would be negative. So your answer is negative 12. Now this video, again, I have 24 divided by 3, which I know it is 8. Then I have negative divide by another negative. You look at the success criteria, two negative dividing by each other, it gets the answer as positive. So my answer would be positive 8. 10 seconds, have a go with video. Again, 36 divided by 3 was 12. Then negative divided by negative was positive. Okay. Again, more examples. The same as multiplication, when you have more than 2 division, 3, 4 or more, doesn't matter. You start with the first 2. So I start with the first 2. I have 24 divided by 4, which I know is 6. Then negative divided by negative makes the answer positive. Then I have positive 6 divided by negative 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. Positive divided by negative, my answer is negative. So your last answer would be negative 2. Again, doesn't matter how many division or how many multiplication you have. Start with the first 2, find the answer, and then pick your answer with the third one, and so on. 1 minute, have a go with video, please, the first video. I start with the first 2, as I said. So I have 36 divided by 4, which is 9. Then negative divided by negative is positive. So you have positive 9 for the answer for first bit. I haven't finished yet, so I need to do that division now. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Positive divided by negative is negative. So your last answer is negative 3. Let's do this I do as well. Same as always, I start with the first 2. 24 divided by 4 is 6. Negative divided by negative is positive. Okay, I need to do these 2 now. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Positive divided by negative is negative. Now I need to do these 2. 2 divided by 1, you can't change the order. Make sure the answer divide by the next one. The answer divide by the next one. So 2 divided by 1 is 2. Negative divided by negative is positive. Now I need to do this one. 2 divided by 1 is 2 again. Positive divided by positive is a stay positive. So your last answer is positive 2. Now pause the video. 1 minute. Have a go with video, please. Now again, start with the first 2. I have 36 divided by 4, which is 9. Negative divided by negative makes the answer positive. Then I have positive 9 divided by negative 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. Positive divided by negative is negative. Now I need to do this one. 3 divided by 1 is 3. Negative divided by negative is positive. And then last step, 3 divided by 1 is 3, and positive divided by positive is positive. So your last answer is positive 3. Well done if you managed to do all these right. Now just 2 minutes. They are easy examples. Just 2 minutes for more practice. Have a go with all questions. Then start the video again to just check your answers. And here you can see all the answers. Change the green pen, mark all of them. And hopefully you all got all of them right. Okay, we learned how to do multiplication with the negative number and dividing by negative number. In here, it is still dividing, but for example, in the previous question, it was 24 divided by 4, or for example, 9 divided by 3. So you could have actually find the answer, you could have actually do the division. But in this case, if you can see, is negative 6 divided by negative 5. So actually I need to do 6 divided by 5. In this case, if you can't do the division, so I can't do 6 divided by 5 because 6 is not in 5 times table. I end up with the decimal number. I don't need to do the division, so I just gonna write that answer as fraction because fraction is some sort of division, it's the same thing, so I just need to write it in a different format. So instead of 6 divided by 5, I write it in a fraction format, 6 divided by 5. So it's the same things, just different format. Just make sure first number at the top, then the fraction line, it means division, and then second number on the denominator at the bottom. Okay, so you do 6 divided by 5, so 6 divided by 5, then negative divided by negative, it was positive. So you're going to put a positive sign next to your fraction line. So again, 6 divided by 5, 6 divided by 5, 6 over 5. Then you look at the sign, negative divided by negative would be positive. That positive is for your whole answer. So that positive needs to be next to fraction line, not at the top, not at the bottom, just next to fraction line, okay? Because it's for whole answer. Okay, now pause the video. 10 seconds, have a go with video, please. Again, in the video, I have 5 divided by 3, which I can't do the division. So I'm going to write it as fraction. So 5 over 3, which is the same as 5 divided by 3. Then negative divided by negative, it would be positive. So I need to put the positive sign next to fraction line. I forgot to tell you in I do, but I can do it in here. I can write my answer as mixed number because I have a top-heavy fraction, improper fraction. So I can put my answer as how many times 3 goes into the 5, 1 whole, and the leftover is 2 over the denominator stay the same. So it's going to be 1 whole, 2/3. So you can leave your answer in the simplest form as a mixed number as well. Okay, let's do this one now. I have 5 divided by 6 this time. As I said, first number divide by second number. So first number goes at the top. So 5 divide by or over second number. 5 divided by 6. I've done it. Then I have negative divide by positive. So my answer would be negative. That negative sign goes exactly next to the fraction line. Okay, now have a go with video, 10 seconds. Okay, I do 3 divide by 5. So 3 at the top, divide by or over 5 as a fraction. Negative divide by positive is negative. That negative goes next to fraction line. Okay, now 5 minutes. You don't need more than 5 minutes. Have a go with all of them. Again, in G and H, you see 3 division. Start with the first to find the answer and then do the last one. Okay, 5 minutes. Have a go with all of them. Okay, again, here are the answers. Change to get in pen marker. As you can see, all the sign for the answers is next to the fraction line. Okay, and for these fractions that you got top heavy fraction or improper fraction, you can change your answer in a mixed number in the simplest form. Okay, in previous examples, we looked at division that we could have write it as a fraction, and we said fraction is some sort of division. Okay, let's see if we have a fraction, what do we need to do? As I said, fraction is a division, so it's exactly the same as negative 18 divide by 3. So that fraction line actually means division. So it's the same as negative 18 divided by positive 3. So let's do it then. Okay, what is 18 divided by 3? Is 6. Negative divided by positive is negative. So your last answer would be negative 6. So again, fraction is a division. Top divided by bottom. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. And then negative divided by positive is negative. 10 seconds. Have a go with video, please. Again, I have negative 15 divide by, divide by 3. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. Then I have negative divided by positive, which is negative. So your last answer should be negative 5. In this one, again, we have a fraction, top divided by bottom. So I have 18 numerator divided by denominator. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. Positive divide by negative. Doesn't matter if you say negative divide by positive or positive divide by negative. As long as they are different sign, your last answer would be negative. So again, if you look at these two I do's, I've done negative divide by positive was negative 6. And this time I've done positive divide by negative was still negative 6. So it doesn't matter which one comes first, your answer going to be negative. 10 seconds. Have a go with video, please. Hopefully you all got negative 5 because you do 15 divided by 3, which is 5, and then you say positive divided by negative is negative. Okay, another fraction. I know I need to divide top by bottom. So 18 divided by that meant to be equal sign though. Okay, 18 divided by 3 is 6. Then negative divided by negative, we said is in success criteria as well, is positive. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. Negative divided by negative is positive. So it's positive 6. 10 seconds. Have a go with video. Again, 15 divided by 3 is 5. Negative divided by negative is positive. Okay, this one. If you look at this one, I need to do 3 divided by 2, but as you realize, I can't do 3 divided by 2. What I can do, I can write it as a mixed number though. So how many times 2 goes into 3? Once. And we have 1 left over 2. So what I've just done, I changed 3 over 2 as a mixed number. Now I need to look at the sign. I have negative dividing by positive. As you can see, negative divided by positive would be negative, and that negative is for whole fraction, so it needs to be for all of them, not at the top, not at the bottom, for all of them. Okay, now could you have a go with video, please? I have 5 over 3, which I can write as a mixed number. So how many times 3 goes into 5? Once. And I have 2 left over, and the denominator stay as it is. So I just changed 5 over 3 to mixed number because it was an improper fraction. Now I have positive divided by negative, which is negative, and that negative is for whole fraction, so it stay in front of the whole fraction. Okay, Now for more practice, in here I can see 2 over 3. So I know that I need to do 2 divided by 3, but as I said, you can't divide 2 divided by 3. So what you can do, you can just write it as a fraction. And because it's not in proper fraction and it's just a normal fraction, proper fraction, you just leave it as it is. So 2 over 3 is going to stay as it is because I can't do anything about it. But if I look at the sign, I have negative divide by positive. Negative divide by positive is negative, and that negative, because it's for whole fraction, needs to be exactly in front of the fraction line. Okay, quickly have a go with video, please. I can't do anything about 3 over 5, so that stay as it is, 3 over 5 in the same order. Then I have positive divided by negative, which makes a negative answer. That negative sign should be exactly in front of the fraction line. And as you notice, these two is exactly the same as the first audio and video, so we're not going to do it. Okay. And for the last part of our lesson, have a go with all these questions and then start the video again. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Have a go with all of them and then start the video again and check your answers. Here are all the answers. Change to green pen self-market. Hopefully you managed to do all of them right and you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any question, you can email me. Have a good day. See you next lesson.